耳元でなんかささやいて。
なんだそれ。
ただのペナルティよ。私の趣味とか全く関係ないから。
捕まえた。
捕まっちゃった。
So, another really solid episode of My Stepmom's Daughter is My Ex. We got to see and share in one of the cutest dates that was shared between Mizuto and between Yume. And I just have to hit on this note so that I absolutely do not forget, for one. But I love how Mizuto at the end of the episode literally looked to Kawanami, because really the one thing that's kind of been a mystery so far is Manami, kind of like what is driving her, you know, what she really wants. And at the end of the day, she was like, yo, Mizuto, I'm still marrying your ass. I'm gonna be in your family, bro. We gonna be a thing. And you have to appreciate Manami's aggressiveness for sure. And at the end of the day, she's really cute too. So it's not like she's like this like gross or this really off-putting type of personality. Like her aggressiveness, personally, I think would be pretty appreciative. And considering all of that, she has a little bit of, now, I don't want to say maturity, because I don't think that's the right thing, but she has a little bit of experience, and she knows exactly what she wants, and she's going after it. In Mizuto, even if her endgame ends up being Yume, she does still have something, like a little spark, a little flame there for Mizuto as well. But I like how at the end of the episode, Mizuto literally looks at Kawanami. He's like, yo, bro, have you ever been hospitalized, dude? Have you ever been in the hospital? And if you catch that reference, that's basically saying, because at some point Kawanami had told us during, maybe it was episode 3 or episode 2, but he had told us when we were kind of learning about Manami a little bit more, he had told us that, hey, you know, she had gone out with this one guy, and because of the way that she treated him, and she was just over the top and just like very suffocating, that she drove this guy to be hospitalized from like a mental state, which, why, I mean, I can't imagine that even being necessary at all. Like, even the most annoying girl in the world that is like hanging on you, like, you know, tooth and nail, foot and hand. Like, I can't imagine needing to be hospitalized. It seems like the most dramatic ass little bitch stuff I've ever heard in my life. But regardless, Kawanami's like, yes, in junior high, I was hospitalized. So basically, at that point, Mizuto essentially put 2 and 2 together, and he's like, okay, so at this point, we can all agree that Kawanami is Manami's ex-boyfriend, which I find that whole little narrative and this little what do you call it, like a quadra friendship now, but the quad friendship between these four, really interesting, and the little lines that get kind of mixed and blurred and stuff. So overall, I found that very entertaining as well. The rest of the episode, really, I mean, it could really be summed up as this. It could be summed up as Yume expressing and being honest to her feelings. And one of the things that I really like the most about this episode specifically is the little, like, and I hate to say this because I don't like flashbacks, but in this specific sense, I have been enjoying the flashbacks for this episode because it gives us more context as to why, like, as to how Yume and how Mizuto were in junior high when they were dating for however long they were dating for, because it's never really been specified. All we know is that about 6 months ago, they kind of ended this thing, and somehow during that, they didn't know that their parents were dating, which is so effing weird. Like, I hopefully they give us backstory on, like, how their parents actually met, and it would be the funniest shit ever, and I really hope that this is how it happens. It would be the funniest shit ever if they met through them somehow, you know what I mean? And maybe they didn't know, or I don't know. It would just be super funny, but I like getting the backstories and seeing kind of how they were. And this episode specifically, you know, while they're at the aquarium, Yume ends up getting lost because she tells us that she's bad at directions, she's bad at reading maps, she's bad at all this kind of stuff. So she ends up choosing the wrong bathroom and gets turned around and doesn't know where she's at. So she ends up getting lost this episode. And because Mizuto has dealt with her in the past, and he already knows based on prior experience that she gets lost pretty easily, he doesn't really see this as like something that's too crazy. He's like, this is kind of like par for the course, and Yume, this is kind of what makes her like. This is part of what makes her up. And he goes and he he offers her a drink, and she calls back a memory that she has, and part of our flashback we got was Yume kind of like it's not self-indulgent, it's the word, it's like self-deprecating, or like self-harm in a way, because she was saying that before in the past, when she was a little bit younger, so a couple years ago, that she was clumsy, and the two things was that she was clumsy, and she always was really worried about what people thought about her, so much so that thoughts entered her mind that she thought it might be better. It might be better if she just didn't exist. And, it seems like Mizuto kind of saved her from that, because even her bad qualities, he tended to like, and he was like, don't worry, I'll be here for you, kind of like forever kind of thing. So I think that's really cute. I think that's really cute. At the end of the day, they do have a really cute love story outside of their parents marrying and they're now being step-siblings. And I like how, after all the date was said and done and everything, I like how we found out, too, that Mizuto essentially was the cause of them breaking up as well. He lets us know in this episode that he was in that stage. The realities, he was in puberty, right? He was going through a change. He was going through a mental, physical change. And he had hit a state to where he just kind of found everything annoying. The people that, the things and the people that he once loved, including her, he just began to feel really annoyed by. And I guess she got to that point in an annoying state that he just like, I don't want to do this anymore. And then they broke up. So we know that he was the cause. So Yume, that bodes a lot, because if Yume was the one that had broken up and that had felt that way, this love story probably would have happened. But because it was him, guys' feelings were really fickle. You know what I mean? We're really we don't really know what we want a lot of the times. And sometimes you can let something go, and that makes you want it again even more. So there's a chance that, obviously, this is their love story. So we know it's going to spur love again in some way, shape, or form. But we know that this can be turned around for sure, because Mizuto was the one that kind of had those annoying feelings. So if he can grow up and just mature a little bit, then he can see Yume's qualities again and probably end up with her. Last couple things I'll talk on is I like how when they got home from the aquarium, she was still stressing over those loafers. The loafer mystery has never been solved, at least from her side. And then I like how she had that kinky ass request to, she started taking a bunch of pictures of him as her prize, as her little brother or whatever. But then she also had him put his arms around her and whisper in her ear. And I loved that scene as well. I thought that was really cute. But overall, I mean, if you just take away the parents and you take away them being step-siblings, really cute love story. It's just the fact that now, they effed up by breaking up in junior high or whatever. And, it's obviously Mizuto's fault here by being just a big old dumb idiot. But, to undo that, they have the hugest hurdle in the world now, which is the fact that their parents are married. And having to explain that to them, it's like that's a very, very, very hard situation. And it's harder because the parents, they don't have any other siblings. It's just them. So then you have this weird relationship that you'll have in the future if they do end up being together. And I've said it before in the past, like if their parents end up having another child, which depends how old their parents are. I would assume late 30s, early 40s, somewhere in that ballpark. I mean, I personally wouldn't have a kid again. I feel like I'm an old man already. I wouldn't have a child again. But, it's possible. So a lot of interesting things that could happen. But I'm going to leave you guys on those thoughts there. Thank you guys for enjoying my video today. If you guys did, please leave me a like, leave me a subscribe if you're new, and then a comment down below. And I'm going to see you guys next week for more My Stepmom's Daughter's My Ex. It's like, Jesus Christ, what's the name of this anime? All right. Peace out, guys.